Hey everyone, Jack and Joe, we're back in our studio Cloud 9. Yeah, for episode 10 already. Episode 10
Can't
episodes.
believe it, 10 already. All right.
And today we thought we'd talk about a subject that comes up pretty often in the studio, which is how and when to use an overdrive pedal. Right? And there are, there's different ways to use the pedals, the overdrive pedals. Some are really full-blown out distortion pedals. Others, you can use to push your amp. If your amp is already distorted, but you want to make it go from, 10 to 12.
Like a clon.
Yeah, the clon is a great choice for that. That's one way to use it. But the other way to use these, and what we found in the studio, is to use them as individual amplifiers, like adding another amp to your rig.
Right. You can't tell you how much time you save in a studio like that. People always ask me how to save time in a studio. Well, to set up multiple amplifiers and adjust each one individually, etc., maybe put different mics on them, etc., that takes a lot of time. So in this particular case, with the overdrives we're going to talk about, a lot of them are reactive as a classic amp would be, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Which is really our philosophy. I think when Jack...
They respond more like a tube amp.
A tube amp. So when we started Analogalien, I told Jack, build whatever you want. I said, but I don't want to ever build a tone vacuum.
Yeah.
Where it never made any sense to me why somebody spends a ton of money on a guitar, an amp, not to mention the endless hours of practice to be to develop your own style and feel and touch, and then plug it into something that makes you sound like everybody else. You can't express yourself. I mean, your style gets smothered by the pedal itself. Right. And it amazes me too. I mean, the guitarists, they don't realize it. Why have only one overdrive? Have 2, 3, 4, 7. Really, it can get that, because all of them can have their own little tones, their own little sounds, nuances, that when you add them to your pedal board, the way someone like John Mayer does, right, or Joe Walsh,
Brad Paisley, there's just a lot of really fine guitar players that just have more than one overdrive, and they set them up like amps. And there's a couple of pedals we'll talk about today, but one is this one here that we found very interesting. We've had it for a long time, and it's a Zen Drive, right? So we bought this one way back, and here it is. There's the photo, and there it is.
There we go. So this is actually an original, right, Jack?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And this pedal really, it's supposed to sound like a Dumple. We've never had a Dumple in the studio, but we've heard them in the city in New York. We've been to rehearsal studios. There was one rehearsal studio on 30th Street, between 7th and 8th Avenue, that had an original Dumple, and that was a killer amplifier. And I can't recall if this really sounds like it, but it does sound really
Is it
good.
I'm so bad with pronunciation. Is it Dumple or Dumble?
Dumble, I think.
Dumble,
yeah.
Dumble. So original. So this was originally made by
Alfonso Hermida.
Hermida.
That's how you pronounce it.
And then another company took this over.
I think Love Pedals took them over.
Because they were in such high demand, right? Is that what it was?
Yeah, and I mean, it sounds great. We're going to do a demo video, take it out in the studio, again, like we usually do, and let you hear it. And what it could do, we'll use it to where we're suggesting, where the amplifier will be clean, and when you kick in the Zen Drive, you'll hear that, it's like almost like we switched amplifiers.
Yeah. Getting back to that point, like, if I just get a good clean, when I'm trying to track guitars and we're trying to make time, and trying to get a lot of stuff recorded, I'll set up a good, just a good sounding, solid, clean signal amp, whether it be an old Fender or maybe an Orange Rocker 30 or something like that. And then by adding these pedals, you just can go from sound to sound to sound, and you can go from Dumble to a Fender to a Marshall, to whatever it is that
the Rocker 30 is a great choice for that too. We find we can get a lot of mileage from that. And it's interesting to note too that this famous guitarist, Eric Johnson, great guitar player, great technique, tone. I mean, it's it. And he has 2 Zen Drives that he leaves on all the time. But the Zen Drives that he uses are the second ones.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's not the same. Basically, the circuit is the same, but it is actually a tube. 12AX7 inside the pedal that is used for clipping purposes, and we'll show you that. Let's take a look at that. So that's the inside, and they're not pumping a lot of voltage through the tube. It's 9 volts, and they use it just to clip. So I guess it's why there's really no ventilation in the there's no venting in the pedal.
So the tube doesn't burn out because it just doesn't get that hot.
Yeah, I mean, I would think I was surprised when I saw that, but I guess it really doesn't get all that hot. And we have not had one of these in the studio, but they cost considerably more than the one we have.
Oh, yeah, I would think so.
So I don't know if it's really worth the money or not, but that's the one that he uses, and he has 2 of them on his pedal board as well. So the Zen Drive is it's a good pedal. It's a great choice if you want to use an overdrive, either live or in the studio, and really like introduce another amp into your rig. There's a few others, that we could talk about. These 2 are legendary. There's the OD-1 Boss OverDrive, and then there's the Blues Drive. And these are ours.
Yeah, we have both these.
We have them. These have seen a lot of mileage, yeah. This one is one of the first.
Sorry.
It's all right. Stuff with this camera. I still can't get used to it.
I know.
But it has no tone control. Later on, they came out with the tone circuit. And I think that's the Boss SD, the Super Drive that came out after this one. These were originated in, I think, late 70s, around 77 is when they came out. It's interesting to note, this one I bought used in the late 80s. It dates back to late 1981. There's a site on social media, on the web, you could check out and date your Boss pedal. There's serial numbers. It's different. I won't bog you down with all the technical information. We'll put a link below, and you could actually get onto it. And if you have some Boss pedals and you're curious about what year they were made and how to date the serial numbers and so on and so forth, you can get on the site. We'll make sure we include the link. But this one sounds fantastic. We've used this. I mean, just think Rolling Stones. Yeah. Think like to me, it sounds like one of our amp pegs when it's cranked. Now you can use this pedal to push an amp, and you could just also set it and just introduce another amp quality tone or sound into your rig, and that comes in handy when we're recording. And the Blues Driver. Same thing. Different. The OD-1 to me has more of a mid-range presence, and the Blues Driver is scooped out a little bit more. It also has a tone control in it, and this one we got used, and it had a Keeley mod added to, which I think changes the gain structure. Tell you the truth, it is the sticker. I turn it in and out. It doesn't seem to make much of a difference to me, but the pedal itself has
a good tone.
Sounds great, and it's just another way of introducing more of another amp, into your rig. It's interesting to note too that the OD-1, the original ones that came out, did not have the 8-pin chip. They had a 14-pin chip. And though I've never had one in here, right? We've never, so I can't A/B it to let you know what we think of it. We are going to take these out in the studio and let you hear them on another video.
Cool.
But the ones with the 14-pin chips and the silver screw on the bottom, you can see that ours has a black screw. They go for a lot of money. You're talking $700-800 into
wow.
$1,000, $1,200, whatever, if you want to pay. And again, I've never A/B'd it, so I don't know if there's much of a difference, or real difference at all. And I think the capacitor values were different too in it. But when you see one, you're like, why is this so much money? If you go to Reverb or eBay, that's why. It's usually like one of the earlier ones. And here's another one that they have too. This is the predecessor. This is the SD-1, which we don't have.
We don't have that?
No, we don't have that one. No. But we are going to get
SD-1, okay.
An overdrive pedal from Boss, the Wazoo pedal, or Waza line of pedals. And we're going to A/B ours. Again, we'll go back to this guy. Where is it? With the newer one, and we'll let you know. We'll let you hear what that sounds like. We also have, we manufacture guitar effects pedals too, analogalien. There we are. And what we wanted to do too with our pedals is that, like Joe said, they're not personality vacuums, right? And it'll suck the tone out of your style and whatnot. And what we like to do is build our circuits around classic amps. So you're introducing a new amplifier or a different amplifier into your pedal board lineup. And one of the ones that's been very successful for us, you want to grab it, is the rumble seat. So the rumble seat, I'm sure you've heard of it. 3 effects in one, right?
Yep. We got the
rumble drive,
the delay, and the reverb. And basically,
it's lower gain settings. We'll take this out again in the studio, let you hear it. It's like an old Marshall Plexi, which we have here in the studio. And when you crank up the gain and you really saturate it, it really sounds like an Orange Rocker 30 saturated. And we have that amp here too. So the pedals are modeled after the amp. This has the delay and reverb. If you don't want to add a delay and reverb to your rig, right, we actually broke out the rumble drive section.
And and this is
the bucket seat. So same thing.
Exact circuit, yeah.
Same exact thing. So and they've been very successful for us. And some famous musicians like Stevie Wonder, Lauren Gold, they use it on their keyboards. Lauren's played with The Who in Chicago, and right now he's on tour with Rush, which is really exciting. And the rumble seat is coming along for the ride with them.
Great, yeah.
So we're going to, I think this is the next episode, we'll take a closer look at the Boss OverDrive pedals. And then we'll do another episode, with our pedals too, because we have the Fuzz Bubble 45, and we make a signature pedal for Joe Walsh.
The Joe Walsh Double Classic, which actually, it's funny because in the quote, because when we first built the pedal for Joe, we said, Joe, can you say something about it? And he actually said in the quote, this pedal is like adding another amp to your rig. And that's when I knew that we really, really, we did it.
Which is what he wanted. But we'll get into that in the next episode. So
so look into some of these pedals. You'll really enjoy them.
Yeah, drop us a line. Please like, follow, and subscribe to our channel. And just let us know what you think. And if you have any suggestions or anything you'd like to see us cover, let us know.
Yeah, and we'll give you a demo of these soon.
So, until next time.
Take care and live long and prosper.
Oh, go on the outside. We're out.